Today I'm going to review 3 styluses. One from Wacom called their Bamboo stylus, another one made by Adonit, their Jot Pro, and last, a $7.99 stylus from Logix. We're going to be using 3 different apps for testing. The first is Paper by 53, another one called Procreate, and the last one using Wacom's Bamboo paper. Let's start off first with this Adonit Jot Pro. Now this is a pretty weighty one. It's made out of aluminum and rubber, so it feels really good. One thing that you'll notice about this is it actually has a very different type of tip compared to these two. Right? These both have a rubber type tip, and this one is a clear plastic. As far as the way it looks, I think it looks really cool. It feels really cool. The Bamboo stylus, and this one also has a nice weighty feel to it. It doesn't have a rubber grip like the Jot Pro, but it is the same type of aluminum, and it feels really good. Nice balance. You know, that's really important. Now the last one is our $7.99 Logix stylus, and this one is aluminum, but it feels very light, and actually the balance is kind of off because most of the weight is here up front. I think it looks okay. You know, the red. I don't know if I care for this too much, but yeah, it does look a little bit cheaper. So right now we have Angela, and she's going to be doing some reviews as well.
Because you don't see many stylus that have this plastic nib on the end, and so what this does is helps you to see what you're writing when you're using it on your iPad. It has a nice rubber grip, and it feels really good in the hand. This one feels really nice, like very well balanced. I'm not quite sure what this is made of. It feels a little bit hollow when you push down on it. If you compare it to the $7.99 one, you see a size difference there. It's a little bit smaller, which gives you a little bit more of a precise stroke when you're using it. And this is also removable, this clip. If you don't like it, you can unscrew it and take it off and then put that cap back on. Here we have our Logiix $7.99. I mean, for $7.99 you can't complain too much. This one feels like it's $7.99, let's put it that way.
Now we have Jose, and he has not really used any of these yet.
At all.
So you're gonna have an unbiased review.
But I like the look of it. I really like how it has this little thing in the front to be more precise and be able to see what you're looking through on the circle. It feels solid. I feel really comfortable holding this in my hand. It feels a little bit heavier than the first one. I feel like I can do like charcoal drawings with this kind of tip. I would much rather use something more pointy, I guess. Feels very light. It feels like I might even break it sometimes. Might be helpful for clicking on menus or on small things to slide across. And again, I don't like the clip on the side on this one.
One thing I noticed about this one is that if your screen isn't clean, it really starts to kind of like stick, and you feel the particles on there because it's a flat surface. You really can tell. So you have to make sure that the screen is clean. Also because you don't want to have a piece of dust on there and be scratching your screen with it.
It does skip a little bit. It's one thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to be conscious of this disc being flat on the surface. You have to press down quite a bit in order to register each stroke, and even then it doesn't get it every single time. I do appreciate that you can see where you're drawing. That is always super helpful.
Feels like I have to put a lot of pressure into this to be able to make it look darker. Yeah, it's skipping sometimes when I'm pressing on it. It's not doing the stroke that I'm trying to do. I like the feel of this one, but I don't like how it's not responding as well as I would like it to be.
It feels pretty good to write, to draw with this one, just because it's actually soft. You know, the other one does feel more like a tool that you might want to use for sketching. You know, maybe this one would be cool for quick sketches, but I felt pretty good using the Adonit.
This one gives you a little bit of a better feel. I don't feel like the strokes are skipping as much. It does feel better than the Jot Pro though.
It feels a little bit more solid when I'm doing the strokes. The reaction and response feels more accurate. I like that it's not missing any of the strokes that I'm trying to do.
And it doesn't feel bad, you know, when I'm drawing with it. It doesn't have the same weight as the Bamboo or the Jot Pro. But yeah, I feel pretty good with this one.
This is our $7.99 Superstar, the Logix. The feel of this pen is very similar to the Bamboo. It is a little bit more cushy, so I feel like I have to press down more. It's definitely not as precise.
The strokes feel a little bit soft. I can put a little bit more energy into it. It's not responding at the end of my strokes very well. It feels like I'm gonna rip the little tip off when I'm making a heavy stroke.
I feel like it has a little bit of trouble when you're lifting up and putting the stylus back down, and also with some of the faster strokes it tends to miss some of them.
It doesn't feel appropriate. I feel like I'm painting with a pen. And it is skipping strokes again.
Alright, this feels really nice. It's going across very well, although it feels like it's a little behind. It's not reacting as well as I was hoping.
I just feel a lot more confident painting with this one. I feel like it registers the strokes very well. I can hold it at an angle, kind of the way that I would probably hold a paintbrush. Yeah, this one is definitely much better for painting than the Adonit.
Now this feels like this was made to paint on the iPad. Strokes are clean, smooth, no skipping. It's really, really, really nice to work with.
I like the reaction time. It's not missing any of the strokes.
And this one feels just as good as the Bamboo in my opinion. Just because it's smaller, I kind of like the way I can hold it like this. And because the tip is a bit bigger, I can actually do it at a more severe angle than the Bamboo.
A little bit of a bigger nib means that it's not as precise, but it feels good.
Responds well, although I don't like the way that it fits in my hand. I think I would like something a little bit bigger and a little bit more solid and heavy.
So right off the bat I can tell that this feels pretty comfortable. Because it has a clear tip here, I can see exactly where I'm writing, and so it feels more like a pen than some of the other ones. If you're doing short strokes where there's a lot of change in motion, sometimes it doesn't register that. So I notice that what I do is I have to write a little bit bigger and just make sure that I take my time.
Not bad. I feel like it's a little bit skippy. In order to avoid all that skipping, I feel like I'm forced to write in cursive.
Immediately I can tell the difference here when I'm writing. It doesn't feel as precise. I don't know where it's going to be writing because of the size of the tip.
This one feels a little nicer. It doesn't feel, I want to say, like you're really writing with a pen, because there is that give with the tip, but it doesn't feel bad.
So this is probably the worst one just because of the size of the stylus. So it feels a little bit worse than the Bamboo just because the tip is even bigger.
This one's actually not too bad. Gets my handwriting there. I don't feel like it skips any.
I would have to go with the Bamboo for 29 bucks. I mean, it's just the best performer all around.
This Bamboo is really the winner for me. It just does a great job.
My favorite would be this one right here.
As a conclusion, what I'd say is this one I don't mind for writing. It feels good. The build quality is great. It's just that whenever it skips, it just really, every single time, it's just an annoyance, and it makes you want to use it less and less every single time it skips.
So this is a great gift, and it holds up well for $7.99.